Stand by,
I always picture
everybody.
Lainey like on like the M79 bus. Sorry, somebody hit a cyclist
Yeah, right.
on 3rd Avenue. We're late.
Well, they always come separate too. So let's see here. What's your password? There we go. Bear. Last Christmas,
I gave you
uh,
my heart.
They had the Christmas trees out already on the sidewalk. I can't. It's
Oh, that happens. That happens the
Yeah, it's
night
always
of the,
right,
the
yeah.
morning of.
they're not
of
out in my neighborhood yet. They haven't. They haven't made it to the boroughs.
all the transgender girls will.
Yeah. Well, they're the Christmas tree vendors, so
they hide underneath them.
Right. So they have to.
It'd be funny if like they all knew way too much. They're like spruce fir. This one will keep its. Uh-oh.
Right. What, do you hear something?
I don't know.
Somebody at the door?
No, it could just be Indira. She's running out like an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, we call that
my
the
God.
we call that the zoomies.
Oh my God. Okay, we're live, everybody.
We're live, everybody. We have one of the dogs under here going fucking crazy.
Wow.
I know.
That's
we don't know how...
they're running it's like there's a Chinese fire drill happening.
Hello. Yeah, no, you know, we have one dog who's of an indeterminate age, but very occasionally she'll get like very excited and she just tears around the house. It's happening right now. So
yeah,
I know she likes to take a shit outside and then eat it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Everybody, welcome to the show. So it's just Adam and I right now, and then we have Ebony Mystique coming in with. This is one of Lainey's clients, and so
one of Lainey's girls.
So one of Lainey's.
We say Lainey, bring out the girls.
Yeah. So I know we've had a hot run of girls recently,
and Howard.
Hot run of girls, and the hottest run of all, Howard.
God.
Yeah, Hollywood Howard.
That's right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, look, my philosophy or my thing with Lainey is like, we'll just keep taking the girls until she doesn't have any more. I don't know, right?
Oh, there will always be more girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we are a preferred vendor at this point, I think, because I put up pecan sandies. You know, it's a nice
We'll
environment.
get a pastry. Sometimes
right. You girls like kugel?
Get a nice
nice noodle
kugel.
Noodle kugel girls.
Not sure I know what kugel is.
Kugel is a sweet. It's a Jewish. It's a sweet noodle pudding.
Okay.
It's also noodle kugel, or I believe you can just call it kugel. So it's a
is that redundant to say noodle kugel?
Yeah, I think the kugel is the noodle.
Yeah,
but I think you can also say, like, I'm a goyim.
Yeah,
so I can say noodle kugel.
Sure.
Kind of like
we make tuna noodle kugel where I'm from.
Do you have a round bread baked bagels? Yes. Do you have a round baked bread bagel?
Right, with a hole in the middle.
I don't want a bialy. Do you
love a bialy?
Do you really? It seems like it's like way too much bread. I always feel very naughty if I'm
I always find bialys to be slimmer.
Well, I just mean like there's no hole in the middle.
Got you.
So it just seems like a lot more
garlic
bread
in there.
Oh, now I'm
you like a toasted bialy with butter.
I knew
delicious.
I used to when I lived on the Upper West Side. There's for those of you who are not in the New York area, it's a very that's like where they made us. It's like where Seinfeld lived. It's supposed to be. It is very Jewish, very sort of bougie and Jewish neighborhood. And I knew a guy that had a line of T-shirts, and the line of T-shirts just said like all these different like bagel orders. So it's like you would wear it, and it had the zip code, whatever the zip code is, 10011 is actually a zip code up there, and it would say like 10011, like half scooped non-fat tofu scallion cream cheese on it.
And do you suppose they actually did the research and found out what the?
It was more like whatever, like
dominant.
They were on like girl T-shirt. It was like sure. I don't know. It's like there's no. It's like boy. It's like if you're looking for the girl who's like, I'm really jappy, but I want everyone to know. Right. I want people from space to know. Sure. I want people from across the room to be like, that girl is the jappiest girl that has ever lived. So listen, if you're watching the show, this is a good opportunity. If you're listening, hello, welcome. Hello. But if you're watching on YouTube, this might be a good opportunity to if you want to play along with us, to kind of go on and Google Ebony Mystique.
Ebony Mystique, or you're just down below on the little ticker. There's her Twitter handle.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Look at that. So what Adam and I are saying is you can
do your research.
You can sort of see what she's up to. So she's an adult film actress, and
she's not, contrary to her title, she's not a certified public accountant, which you might think from a name like Ebony Mystique.
Yeah, MUSTIQUE.
CPA.
I was
BDS.
I was talking to Joe DeRosa, doctor of dental science.
Yes.
I was talking to Joe DeRosa yesterday, and he looked her up, and he said it was really smart of her to have the name Ebony because, like, it comes up in all the porn searches like immediately.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah, sure.
Because I guess that is Ebony is like a. And I had another friend of mine say one of the dumbest things to me. They were. They go, Ebony Mystique, a porn star. Is she black? I said, yes. I'm yes. Without even, and I knew already.
I'm not even sure, but yes.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't met her or heard her speak or anything, but I'm guessing with a name like that's like, you know, my name's Vanilla Anal Loves.
Sure.
Yeah, she a Filipino gal?
Yeah.
No, she's from Norway. I had another. You don't really care about Star Wars, right?
Not a Star Wars guy,
okay,
per se. I like the classics.
Sure, of course. There is a series on Disney Plus called Andor, Andor, and it's actually really good. If someone's listening and you haven't, if you like old school Star Wars, it's good because it's the only thing that I've seen. I don't watch The Mandalorian or the Baby Yoda or any of that horse shit. But this is the first thing that in the sort of like outside of the original 3 movies that I've watched that looks very similar to like original Star Wars. And it's a lot of fun, whatever it is. But anyway, but it's funny because I was talking to another guy, a guy that works in my building, and we talked TV, and we talk about TV, and
sure.
We're talking, and he was like, and he's been up here before, and I have a couple of original Star Wars posters on the wall, and like, I guess I'm a big fan, but I'm not, I don't have like I don't have like a life-size Boba Fett in the corner or anything, but the guy, I go, he goes, I'm talking about Andor, and he goes, yeah, I said, yeah, it's really good. I said, I don't want to oversell it, but it's really a lot of fun. It's on Disney Plus. It's the guy that was in Y Mama Tambien. Remember that movie from like 10 years ago?
Y Tu Mama
right.
Tambien. Yeah.
He plays, the name of the character is Andor. He plays this guy, Andor, and it's just
is he that very handsome
fuck yeah, he is.
Latino fella?
Yes, he is. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know who that guy is.
He's like young. Think Jimmy Smits, 1983. Meow.
Ooh,
you have the right to remain.
Yeah.
Remember, he's like a young Edward James almost. Almost, without the pockmarks.
Sure.
Anyway, so I'm talking to the guy about Andor. I'm going, yeah, Andor's really great. Andor. And he goes, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about Ewoks. And I said,
okay,
what? And I realized he thought I was saying Endor. Because if you remember from Return of the Jedi, like the forest moon of Endor is where all the Ewoks live. So for 20 minutes, I'm trying to like sell this guy on a show. And he thought I was talking to him about a show all about Ewoks.
About Ewoks.
And I was like, what do I have, Down syndrome? Like, oh, it's a great show about Ewoks. And
sure. They got everything.
And then, of course, I sound like a nerd because I'm like, not Endor, Andor. You goose.
If I had a nickel for how many times I had that mix up.
Honestly, you would have thought when they could have named the sexy Hispanic guy anything. They named him something very similar to Andor. I did hear that God damn it, the black guy who does the voice for Star Wars for Darth Vader.
Oh, I can't. James Earl Jones.
Thank you.
Okay.
He the guy's he's 91, so he has retired from being the voice of Darth Vader because
the wheezing is real now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Ironically, he's got more life support now than the Dark Sith Lord. But he is so he's lost, I guess, some of the timbre in his voice, so he's no longer right. So now they brought in the voice of Gilbert Gottfried. Ow!
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Did you imagine? Oh, no.
Oh, did I spike it or something? Sorry about that. But So but interestingly enough, I guess what they did is the sound people, they went and they have digitally recreated his voice.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can license your own voice or if he like
Well,
sold.
yeah, they could do a deep. If they can do a deep fake for your face, they could generate.
You would
Have
know.
you heard those? They have those generators. They sound bad, but it's funny. There's a on Tim Heidecker's show. The guy does them, and it'll be like, "Hello, this is Jerry Seinfeld. Thank you for tuning in to What's the Deal with Tim Heidecker." You know, it's
really?
it's very like, or they'll do Bob Dylan or something. It's very choppy and
Because I've
funny.
seen Kyle Donaghy does one. Dunnigan, right? Sorry, where he does one where he like looks like Caitlyn Jenner or Bill Maher, and it's actually funny. I saw him
good,
and it really funny, and but I saw him in an interview, and he was saying that he actually prefers to use ones that are kind of shitty because it's funnier.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
They've gotten so good now,
I know.
where like you don't even know that it's fucking not the real person. You're watching it, and you're like it takes the comedy away because you're like,
because you're actually thinking there's a beat where you're trying to decipher if it's actually Bill Maher or not Bill Maher. And if it is Bill Maher, that's not as funny.
It takes you out of it. But to see like weird, like puffy, bloated, weird Bill Maher, and it's kind of like constantly shifting in and out of whatever it is. So it's very very funny. So now, but I was just wondering, like, because they have to hire James Earl Jones. I mean, he was doing like the voice for like Verizon, and you guys just voiceovers all day long. So now, can they just, if they digitally recreate your voice, do they have to still pay you royalties? I don't know how that works.
I would imagine.
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, because maybe not for somebody like
for him,
but something that it's clearly your likeness they're using.
No,
James is getting paid.
Paid, but he doesn't even. He's like 91. That is like legitimately old. That is like
that's kind of like the ultimate, like, you won though. I think when you do like such an iconic thing like that they just make a computer to do it. You don't have to get out of bed, but you still get the money. That's like mailbox money squared almost.
Well, when I lived in LA, Paul Dinnan had a friend named Jay who hated me, but Jay lived in Studio City, and Jay lived right next door to the guy that would do like In a World Gone Mad.
In a World.
That guy, he knew him, and the guy had a studio in his home. And he would get in the morning, he would check his email, and he would get like fucking copy from, some production company or whatever, whoever's making some movie. And he would like go down, and apparently he smoked weed all day long. He was like 70 years old.
Wow.
And he would just go down and put on his headphones and kind of do exactly what we're doing right now and be like, she was an out of work copywriter. He made robots, or whatever it sounds like a great movie actually. But and they would do this. Oh my
God, Sandra Bullock and
Robert
Downey Jr.,
Lance Henriksen, and Sarah Jessica Parker present Robot Motel Owner. So but and apparently he made like $4 million.
It's crazy because doing a lot, being a recording engineer, doing a lot of that type of shit, those type of people I've worked with, and it's like they're just, you think almost when you hear that, oh, that's like some crazy effects or whatever, but it's like these people that you get them in front of the mic and it's just, it comes through like that, and it's kind of amazing.
Well,
they're just like dead, blessed or touched by God.
But I would hope it's a real skill. I mean, how annoying would that be if it was just like it was just a lightning bolt?
But I guess I don't know. It is one of those things you think like, well, there's probably a lot of, and there is a lot of processing too, but at the same time, it's like you probably could, like, when that guy calls tech support, he just sounds like that. And you're like, holy shit.
I have
it's the In a World guy.
Right. I have unplugged the computer and turned it back on. I have hit F9. Right. I know how to turn off a monitor. Yeah. No, I think
it's bizarre.
And well, it is funny because you imagine like you're hanging out with that guy and you're like, so what's your story? And he's like, I honestly, you could do this. He's like, they use a computer. I don't know. My uncle's friend owns the company. So someone, you're like, fuck me.
Like, I know how to read. I'm literate and I was born with this voice, basically.
That's all it is.
But it reminds me of, like, do you remember those Pat O'Brien, those crazy Pat O'Brien voicemails where he was like,
oh, yeah,
I want to fuck you so hard.
Yeah. I want to.
It sounded like
it's
the movie trailer guy.
Yeah.
But it just, he's so broadcaster.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. I remember that. He was like, I want to get wild with you. I want to fuck you.
Nasty things to you all night long.
The audience might not know that. Can we play that for them? Can you find that?
I feel like I pull this up like once a week. I mean, in my personal life.
Okay, so just so everyone knows, Pat O'Brien.
I'm pretty sure I could find it.
He was the host of Inside Edition, which was one of those like news shows, entertainment shows, and he had glasses. And I don't think he's around much anymore. He might be still alive. But about 20 years ago, he, I guess, like called some girls that he wanted to party with, and he left them voicemails, and he was probably in his 50s then. And what he did was he left them voicemails, and somehow the voicemails got into like your phone, my phone.
Exactly.
They got into everywhere. So we're gonna play you now.
I love the title is listen to the dirty drunken Pat O'Brien voicemails.
Yeah.
He said, that sent him to rehab.
Okay, here we go. So this is Pat O'Brien.
Oh God, it's almost indecipherable.
I know, right? Is it a better one or no?
I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe this is good.
To copy this message to another person.
Oh my God. She's like, to ruin this man's life, hit 7. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't. Is it? So look, I feel like you've had a lot. Hot. You've had a lot more experience with women than I have. And is there any woman on the planet that is like that turns them on to be like, oh my God, this guy like wants me to suck his cock like on a voicemail? Like it seems like
maybe. Well, I mean, I think the weird thing about that I've always said is like when you're dating somebody, or if you want to be with somebody and you did that before you've kind of like you're in the door, it's like the hugest turn off.
Right.
But if I did that to my girlfriend now, she would fucking love it. Okay. She'd be like, oh my God, because I don't know, I feel like women just want you to be like hot for them. You know what I mean?
That's valid.
And so it's kind of a weird thing. Kind of like a dick pic. Like I think my girlfriend would love that now, but if it was before we knew each other. Really, or before she like was sold on me.
That also veers into, and I know you at this point. I know you pretty well. Like that veers into taking yourself a little too seriously,
right?
Where you're like, if you're like in your, you're in a long-term relationship, and you're like, I'm gonna get my cock hard.
You mean
I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to and be like, this is yours tonight. With like I'd have to do some sort of goofy emoji, 100%. Like a volcano or something, or like a rainbow, but like I couldn't do that, and and
never
be
in
like
a million years
and serious about it. And like I love that one at the end of that one voicemail, he's like, "Leave me a voicemail. I'm going into the bathroom." Like he's probably at work or something.
He sounded like he was in a fountain while that was it. Sounded like there was water running or something.
He's like
in a koi pond.
Yeah. And then he goes upstairs and he's like, he's like, Jay Leno bought a new Packard. Right. We'll take you on a tour of the garage when we come back. Yes. Goes in the bathroom and like smokes some crack. And he's like, but I mean, the guy, he's one of these guys that like lives in Los Angeles, probably makes, $3 million a year.
Does well for himself.
And like, this is what he, this is like, that's his thing,
Mm-hmm. I believe he's from South Dakota.
Oh wow,
he's from one of the Dakotas, but I remember being surprised when
you think he'd have some reservations about this kind of behavior?
You sure would.
Yeah,
you sure would,
because there's Indians in South Dakota.
Sure, right.
You ever been to South Dakota?
I have.
Why?
Well, from Minnesota. So
Yeah,
we went to Mount Rushmore for on a
Oh.
family vacation once.
How was that?
It's
Is it bigger than you thought or not as big as you
pretty
think?
big. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Wow. That's a weird thing that guy made, right?
Right. And then there's the Crazy Horse. Have you seen the Crazy Horse?
Is that the one that's not finished?
Yeah, it's like I guess he's never gonna finish it. I don't know.
Well, he's dead now. He has
died.
to be.
Oh, somebody could finish it.
I don't know who's going to pick
Get
that one up.
Fucking finish it. I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it seems really weird to me that who's on Mount Rushmore? You have
George Washington.
Are they here?
I don't know.
Oh, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt,
Lincoln, right?
Lincoln, yeah, and Marilyn Manson. Hold on, everybody. Dogs are barking. God, shut up. I hate my dogs. Sorry, everybody. I don't hate them, but nobody's here, everybody. Yeah, it's the one next door. It's the dog next door. There are two dogs on the floor.
There was I was in the elevator with the dog walker.
Oh, really?
And she had like 5 dogs. I'm not all from this floor, but there's like 5 dogs.
Yeah, there's a
counting me.
No, you do lead a rough life.
I sure do.
Hey, stop it. Be quiet.
Lord.
Oh my God. Everybody, listen. Don't worry. If you're on the Patreon, we'll edit all that out.
Kennel pot.
None of you Patreon people will have. When you're on if you join the Patreon, you will hearing no dog barking.
Never.
I always think it's funny when you're watching porn and there's a dog barking
Sure.
or a cat walks through the scene.
Mm-hmm. And then you get even harder.
Oh yeah. I'm
mean,
like, now I can finally pop.
Right.
When we were talking about on the show, Christy Mack.
Yeah, we were.
Okay,
week.
Right. She's back.
Christy Mack's back.
Christy Mack is back.
She's
not dating. She's like, I'm not dating War Machine anymore. No, they're
Warhammer. I forget if it's.
I believe it's War Machine.
War Machine. Okay.
Warhammer sounds ridiculous.
I just remember one time we talked about it and then we got corrected.
Yeah, I think it was Amy. I believe.
Maybe we said. Well, no, this was a long time ago.
Okay.
But. And I think we said Warhammer, but it is War Machine.
Yeah. You remember Cheesecake Factory? War Machine, Party of One, War Machine.
Yeah.
Hi, yes. Would you like to sit at the bar? If I wanted to sit at the bar, I would have sat at the bar.
Right.
I'm not sitting alone at the bar at the Cheesecake Factory like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Did I tell you that I went to Margaritaville in Times Square?
No, I've always wondered what goes on in Margaritaville.
Oh,
I just realized there was a Margaritaville in Manhattan like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you.
I can't stop thinking about it.
I started drinking again too. That's fun. Oh, yep. But this time around, only blender drinks. So no, I'm just kidding. But no, you know what it was? I was with.
They don't hit you as hard.
No, and also you've really got to think about it.
Because the ice headache.
Yeah.
Will stop you from having a drinking problem. Could you
imagine? I know. You're in rehab. Some guys like, oh man, I was spending $500 a day on heroin, and you're like, I was having 9 pina coladas a day. That's why I weigh 800 pounds.
Drunk on mudslides. I got diabetes. Too.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I would get up at 7 8. My electric bill was $3,000 a month from running that fucking blender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the end of it, I was putting salt on the rim of everything.
Right.
I was just rimming salt on my
ribbon tap water.
Yeah, just my cereal bowl had no. So I was with my daughter and we were in Midtown and we had something to do. And then I was like, we had to have lunch. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we try and go to Margaritaville? Now, for those of you who don't know, Times Square kind of starts at 42nd Street and goes up to about 50th Street. But it now, because it has gotten bigger or whatever, now it goes down a little bit, like 41 and 40th Street. So the Margaritaville is a hotel. It's a brand new hotel, new construction. And it's on the northwest corner of, I think, 40th and Broadway. I mean, who cares? But it's a hotel, and it's part of this chain of Jimmy Buffett themed Margaritaville resorts. They're all over Florida.
Yeah, I saw one in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep, there's one in Orlando. There's even one in like the Bahamas, and I can't imagine. I mean, Jimmy Buffett is a fucking that guy
Keep
is.
talking. I gotta plug this. Oh, it's Laney. Let me check this real quick. Hello.
Laney. Oh,
5 left.
okay. Oh, guest is here. Should we just like?
Both here. Let's take a break.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Remember, we're gonna be right back with Ebony Mystique, and I don't know, we'll just be back. So if you're watching on YouTube, check her out and start jerking off during the show. It'll be fun, but do it on a bus.